Welcome to Catholic News World.
Welcome to Catholic News World. Please subscribe to our channel. My name is Steph. Here are this week's breaking news headlines.
Thousands are feared dead after massive earthquake hits Myanmar and Thailand. Myanmar and Thailand, in Asia, were struck by a 7.7 magnitude earthquake on Friday, March 28, 2025. In a telegram sent on Friday, the Pope expressed his sorrow at the loss of life and widespread devastation. The confirmed death toll stands at 153, but it is expected to rise. In Myanmar alone, at least 144 people have been killed and more than 730 were injured. The Pope offered heartfelt prayers for the souls of the deceased and assured his spiritual closeness to all affected by this tragedy. Vatican News reported that the Pope also prayed for all emergency personnel, saying, "May be sustained in their care of the injured and displaced by the divine gifts of fortitude and perseverance." Aid agencies are trying to assess the devastating humanitarian needs. Measuring 7.7 on the Richter scale, the quake struck around noon local time, with 4 smaller aftershocks, ranging from 4.5 to 6.6 in magnitude, following closely behind. The situation remains very unsecure, with the full extent of the damage still unclear. Myanmar, under the control of a military junta, has for many years suffered from challenging communication and information access. In response to the disaster, a state of emergency has been declared in 6 regions. Disturbing images from the area are filling the web, showing severe damage to buildings and infrastructure, including a video capturing the collapse of a large bridge. The exact reach of the quake's impact remains uncertain, but it is clear that the humanitarian toll is great. The tremors were also felt in neighboring Thailand. In Bangkok, 3 construction workers were killed, and dozens more were injured when an unfinished high-rise building collapsed. Thailand's Deputy Prime Minister announced that 81 people are trapped under the rubble. Bangkok, too, has been declared a disaster area. The crisis comes at a time when Myanmar is already dealing with widespread displacement, with over 3 million people internally displaced and more than a third of the population in need of urgent humanitarian assistance. The earthquake's epicenter lies in central Myanmar, a region deeply entrenched in ongoing conflict. The added strain of the quake will make the delivery of aid even more complicated. The earthquakes were also felt in China in the Yunnan and Sichuan provinces, causing injuries and damage to houses. Cambodia, Bangladesh, and India also reported tremors. Local and humanitarian efforts are working as best as possible to reduce the scale of the tragedy and save as many lives as possible.
Please subscribe to our channel.
In response to a black mass in Kansas, the Catholic Archbishop of Kansas City and hundreds of people gathered in prayer inside the Assumption Church in Topeka. Archbishop Joseph Naumann celebrated a Catholic Holy Mass and Eucharistic adoration. The Black Mass was planned by a non-profit organization named the Satanic Grotto. After the event's announcement on Facebook in February, Catholics were outraged since a Black Mass normally involves a stolen Eucharist host. The Archbishop sued the Satanic Grotto organization, who had to swear under oath that a stolen host would not be used. Its leader Michael Stewart was arrested for punching a protester on Friday, March 28, around 11:30 a.m. after entering the State House. Michael Stewart was raising his arms and chanting in the Capitol Rotunda, surrounded by a number of protesters calling on him to stop. A man later identified as Marcus Schroeder attempted to snatch what appeared to be papers from Stewart's outstretched hands. Video and images circulating on social media show Stewart punching Schroeder twice in the face before several police officers tackled him and take him away. Kansas Governor Laura Kelly and legislative leadership tried in advance to limit the protest through changes to Stewart's permit to gather and new restrictions on Capitol building rules. A handful of Republican legislators attended the Mass. Before the altercation inside the state building, the Black Mass took place on the Capitol steps. A protester tried to throw himself on the unconsecrated crackers that Michael Stewart was stomping on as part of the satanic ritual. About 20 people joined in the satanic service. A large crowd of several hundred counter-protesters, mainly organized by the Catholic group the American Society for the Defense of Tradition, Family, and Property, TFP, gathered on the south side of the Capitol to pray the Rosary.
Please subscribe to our channel.
In an update on March 28th, the Vatican released that Pope Francis' health continues to show signs of gradual improvement as he recovers from bilateral pneumonia at his Vatican residence. The director of the Holy See Press Office, Matteo Bruni, held a briefing for journalists on Friday to provide an update on Pope Francis' recovery. The Pope was able to return from hospital on March 23rd, but his doctor revealed that there were 2 episodes in hospital when the Pope Francis nearly died from complications of his pneumonia. Mr. Bruni said the Pope's health is currently stable, noting he has shown slight improvements in respiratory and motor functions, as well as in his speech. The Holy Father continues to gradually reduce the amount of high-flow oxygen he receives through nasal cannulas during the day, accompanied by a slight reduction at night. According to blood tests carried out on Wednesday, March 26th, the Pope's hematological parameters are normal. Pope Francis continues to alternate between therapy, prayer, rest, and some work activity, with all dicasteries of the Roman Curia sending documents to update him on their activity. The Pope can celebrate Holy Mass every day in the chapel of the Casa Santa Marta. Pope Francis has been informed of the earthquake in Myanmar. The Pope is praying for the many victims. On Friday morning, he followed the second Lenten sermon delivered by Father Roberto Pasolini via video link broadcast by Vatican Media. This Sunday's Angelus address will be released by the Holy See Press Office, as it has on previous Sundays. The Vatican released the Easter season Holy Mass schedule, but explained that the Pope's participation at these events are dependent on his health.
Please subscribe to our channel.
2 kidnapped Catholic priests have been released with the help of police. Agenzia Fides reports that there is a wave of priest kidnappings in Nigeria, Africa. Father John Ubechu, parish priest of Holy Family Catholic Church in Izambi, was kidnapped on the evening of Sunday, March 23, 2025. The incident occurred along Ejimekwaru Road in Agida local government area of Imo State. He was kidnapped on his way to the priest's annual retreat. Nigerian priest John Ubechu was released as announced March 26th by the Archdiocese of Owerri in a statement signed by the Chancellor and Secretary of the Archdiocese, Father Patrick Mbara. I am directed to inform you that our priest, Father John Ubechu, who was kidnapped on Sunday, March 23, 2025, has been released. He regained his freedom from his abductors today, March 16, 2025. The statement reads, "We thank God for his infinite mercy and for answering our prayers. We appreciate your fraternal solidarity and prayers. To God be the glory," the statement concludes. On Sunday, March 23rd, another police operation led to the swift release of another Catholic priest who had been kidnapped shortly before. Father Stephen Ekazona was kidnapped at a gas station in Ikaida, Anambra State. He was rescued by a joint security team consisting of police, army, civil defense, and vigilante groups. In a statement, the local police announced that Father Ekazona was safely rescued in Ihiala in the early hours of March 23rd. According to the statement, the kidnappers were forced to abandon their vehicle, a white SUV without license plates, after a firefight with security forces, in which the priest was unharmed.
Watch our program every Friday at 7:30 p.m. Thanks for watching, and please subscribe to Catholic News World's channel. God bless.